Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday afternoon and I'm on my way to Jill's to babysit for her a couple of hours. She has some business to take care of and she needs me to babysit, so I'm happy to do it. I babysat, Ife was sick Thursday, so she had to stay home from school. She had a head cold and runny nose and all those things, you know. I thought, oh gosh, now Grandma's going to be sick. But I have to do it, you know, Jill has to work, so that's my job, is to help my daughter as much as I possibly can. And I feel so bad for the kids when they get sick. She would, Jill doesn't really keep tissues in her house, and I don't either. There's something about a box of tissues sitting around that annoys me. Maybe it reminds me of being sick or something, but I never buy tissues, and she doesn't either, so Ife would just go get her a dinner napkin and blow her nose. And then, of course, by Friday, Issa had it, so I had both of them on Friday. Now, on Thursday, Jill actually took... I was still asleep when she called to let me know that she needed me. So she took Ife to work with her. She was working in the office. So it's not a problem for her to bring Ife or Issa, either one, with her for, you know, a half hour or an hour. And, you know, they have their tablets. So they're not like it was back when we were raising kids. You know, they didn't have anything to keep them occupied like they do nowadays. I mean, they'll sit on those tablets for hours if you let them. So I had both of them on Friday. Issa, I told Jill, I said he could have gone to school. But he had had a little touch of a fever on Thursday night. I think it was 99. So she decided to keep him home too. And then by Friday afternoon, they were outside in the backyard playing, just having a grand old time. So I've been pretty busy. Saturday and Sunday I was just mulling around the apartment, feeling sorry for myself and trying to figure out a way that I could try to make some extra money so that I'm not broke all the time. I did get approved to make food deliveries with Uber Eats, and I'm still what do they call it? Independent contractor with Uber Eats, but I felt like it just wasn't even worth it, that it was more detrimental to me than it was worth it as far as the amount of money that was being offered to drive to a restaurant and pick up food and then drive to someone's house and drop it off. I mean, I never got an order that paid more than $6 for 3 miles, and that's picking it up from the restaurant, I believe. Yeah, it's not counting from where you're at when you get the offer. It's counting from the restaurant to the customer's home. So I might be near my apartment, you know, and have to drive to Hicksville, which could be, you know, 3 or 4 miles, and then pick up the food and take it to a customer, and then only make $5 or $6. It just, and every offer that I got was not more than $6 or $7. And then sometimes they would send me an offer and it would say match. Well, I don't know what that meant, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't get an answer for it. You know, what does match mean? It was just too mind-boggling and confusing for me at my age. I just, and then, you know, there's so many other delivery drivers competing with you that you can't get. You know, if you're brand new with them, you're not going to get an offer with a $10 tip. And, you know, as the this was last year, I think I started trying to deliver with them. So someone told me about DoorDash. So I went to check on them, and they don't have any openings available. There are a lot of men in this area. I've seen them around town. They drive these old Priuses. It's like the very first Prius. And they all have out-of-state license plates, mostly Pennsylvania, Virginia. I've seen some from Delaware and New Jersey. And I've seen them around town, you know, with the red DoorDash bag in their hand where they're picking up and delivering. So one day I was in Walgreens and there was a man, one of the workers there was checking me out, and a DoorDash driver brought in some food for him. And he was this foreign-looking guy. So I asked the guy, I said, have you noticed all of these DoorDash delivery guys? They're like from Russia or somewhere, and they all drive these old Priuses. He said, yeah, there's a guy that has a business where he brings them over here he said from the country of Georgia. I don't think that's Russia, but it's somewhere out there. Near Russia, I believe. He said he brings these men in and he houses them, and then he provides them with these old Prius cars, and they make these DoorDash deliveries, but they're actually working for him. You know, he gives them a salary. It's probably based on how much money they make while they're delivering, and that's why there's so many of those over here. They just keep coming and coming and coming, and then this worker at the Walgreens said he had been on the waiting list for a DoorDash position for several months, and he said he can't. He's an American and he can't, a native New Yorker, and he can't get a job here, DoorDash. And so I doubt they would want me, a 73-year-old decrepit grandma. But I would love to be able to do that. You know, I could leave Jill's and drive home and maybe pick up a couple of food deliveries on the way and make money going home. So y'all let me know if any of you are elderly and you have a job delivering food, or the restaurant deliveries, or Instacart. What are the others? Spark, I think it's the Walmart. One of my subscribers suggested that I sign up with that, but I mean, you have to think about what it is that you're going to be delivering from Walmart. I mean, it's going to be, 40 and 50 pound bags of dog food and cat litter. I think cat litter comes in like 30 or 40 pound boxes. And don't even get me started on the cases and cases and cases of water. I mean, a case of water, I think they have 24 bottles, and they're 16 ounces, so that's, say, 16.9 ounces, so that's 25 pounds. Well, I'm not supposed to lift more than 15 pounds with my titanium shoulder. So I don't know what the solution is. I'm not going to go back into caregiving. I just cannot do it. I would end up in an insane asylum for sure. I mean, I just can't do it. I did it for over 10 years when I lived in New Jersey, and every job, from the nanny jobs to the housekeeping to the elderly care, it just went from bad to even badder, and then to the worst case scenario. Lord, that last job I had taking care of Mr. Marco, and with his psycho daughter living in the same house with us, it was just horrific. It's never been the children that have been the problem for me as far as the nanny jobs or the housekeeping jobs. I don't mind all the cleaning and scrubbing toilets and cleaning out refrigerators and food shopping and cooking and cleaning and doing all of that. It's the homeowners. They're just so nasty. They expect so much from one person. I mean, the Dr. Corruption and the Devil Wife, that was a 3-story, 20-room mansion. And y'all, I'm not talking about a little tiny bedroom. These bedrooms that house was built in the 1890s. These bedrooms were huge. They had these big fireplaces in them with big mantles, and some of the bedrooms were as big or bigger than my studio apartment in New Jersey. Well, much bigger than that apartment and bigger than the one bedroom I live in now. So y'all let me know if you have any suggestions of something that I could possibly do. I mean, if I could just, my channel, I really can't rely on it anymore. I'm down to barely making $200 a month. And that's my fault because I've been depressed and I haven't really wanted to get on here and make YouTube videos. I mean, who wants to watch somebody that's sick and depressed all the time? There are enough of YouTube creators on here who make videos like that day in and day out, and you get tired of it. And so far I'm maintaining my 30,000 subs, so thank you all for that, for sticking with me through the good times and the bad times. I appreciate it. I have been struggling very badly with my mental health, but I'm going to try my best to pull myself up by the bootstraps again and get my life back together. It seems like I spend 90% of my time trying to get my life back together. But I'm happy that I'm healthy and I'm doing well. My channel is thriving, even though I'm not really making that much content, and I really appreciate y'all for sticking with me. It means so much to me. So I'm going to be at Jill's in a few minutes. Oh, yesterday I was on the Parkway and the traffic was moving about 2 miles an hour. I mean, we were just creeping along. So I thought, oh, what now? So I figured it must be a car crash, and sure enough, right up above me I saw emergency lights flashing. There were no ambulances there or fire trucks, just police cars. Well, it was part of the parkway where I guess somebody was merging from this side, and maybe the lady didn't let her in or something, and they crashed. But both cars, they were both gray SUVs. They looked almost identical, and they were just parked reversed into the woods, just side by side with trees down beside them. It was so weird looking. It looked to me like they both just swerved around a couple of times and took out a couple of small bushes and trees, and that they just backed into the woods and were just sitting there. And both women were out of their SUVs talking on the phone, probably calling their husband or their insurance companies. But that was such a weird sight. I couldn't get my phone to take a picture. I really had to just concentrate on driving so I didn't cause another crash. But I would have liked to have had a picture of it. But you can just imagine 2 gray SUVs practically parked side by side in the woods with trees down all around them. Oh goodness. So let me merge over here myself and concentrate on what I'm doing. Now, when I had Ife on Thursday morning, I took her to IHOP, and we had a good old time. She didn't feel good, but I did take a little video of her, and she was so cute. And I wanted to show y'all the food and talk to you a little bit. So it's about a 2-minute video. I will ask Jill if I can either publish it separately or attach it to this one. It's totally up to her. But I think y'all would enjoy it. So anyway, if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe and join my YouTube family. You will be loved and accepted here. And y'all don't forget to give me a like and share. And y'all just keep on coming back.